Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? I'm so excited. This is my 4th day in a row of going live here at Odessa Rose Creates. I am Robin and I am going to show you some Couture transfers and different surfaces to chalk on. So let me get started. I want to make sure you can see me okay. So I'm going to find my live here. Show up. I don't have very good signal today, so hopefully I saw it and then it went away. Hopefully it will continue to work. Good grief. Usually it pops right up. So I'm having a heck of a time. There. Okay. So if you are on and you want to say hello to me, that would be awesome. I'd love to see where you're from, and if you are a designer. I'm going to turn my iPad this way and set that up here on my post here by my camera. Perfect. Okay. Great. All right. I've painted some trays that I found. This one's really cool. It's gold, and these two are silver. This has little feet on the back, so eventually I may try to glue on a ribbon so it can hang, or it might just be a shelf setter. But I want to make a trio here of different trays. They could meet on a shelf near the pantry. We're going to use the pantry transfer, and this is a new transfer in our new catalog, which you can find this on the website, and you can flip through it and see all the ideas and all the different transfers, or you can click the shop button and go right to the different categories of products you can purchase at chalkcouture.com/Odessa Rose. And that's where you'll find my picture in the upper right corner. And if you want to know any more about Couture, you can find it all there. If you'd like to become a designer yourself to create or start a business with selling the product or conducting classes, let me know and I'll be glad to help you out. So also we are going to do a big wooden door. My son-in-law built a brand new entertainment center, and there's a couple pieces of doors that weren't how he wanted them to be, so he remade them, and he was going to throw them out, and I said, I will take those doors and chalk on them. And one of them I did was the one with the green fern, and it said, I think, "No Place Like Home," maybe, I put on it, and I already gave that to them, and they have it hanging in their home. And this one's a big door, and we're going to put this new transfer on it. Hi, Ori. In this house. And we're just going to do that after we get done with our trays. So we have a few projects to do here real quick this morning. I also dug out my Bon Appetit transfer, which is an older transfer, because it has fork, knife, and spoon, which I might incorporate into some of the designs of this transfer. So let's get it cut apart and get going. How are we doing? Hi, Tonda. Doing some chalking today on some metal service trays and on a big cabinet door. We'll also do. So I'm just going to cut these pieces apart. I'm pretty much going to use most of these on these 3 different trays. Either layering or just use by itself. We'll see how it goes. Kind of have an idea, but nothing's set in stone yet, so we'll see how it goes. Does everyone have a pantry? In this new house, we have this wonderful walk-in pantry. Not only can we store kitchen stuff, but I also store my fall and Halloween decorations and my spring and Easter decorations in there. So it's that big. It's great. I hope my next house can have a pantry that big. Okay, so we got those pretty much apart. No, we don't. We got the fork and the knife. Fork and spoon, I guess it is. Right now, I do have a sign above my pantry door. What does it say? It doesn't say pantry. I didn't make it. I bought it. I got it through my store when I had my store. But I think it would be fun to do a pantry door. My grandkids love to go into the pantry. That's the first thing they do when they get to my house. Is they go into the pantry and we have all their snacks down low where they can reach them and they have to grab a snack, and it's just hilarious. And even Chase, who's just was 1 in October. She can't reach the handles yet, but she tries to open the door. She's so cute. I thought it'd be fun to put these in a really light gray color as a background, and then lay the pantry over the top in black. So these will kind of be a backdrop to the pantry. So we're gonna get these on there. So we're gonna need, I'm gonna be using gold, shimmer, silver shimmer, probably some storm, probably grayish for these silverware because I want it to be really light so we have a good contrast with the black lettering on top. We want to be able to read that well. We got black, we got white. So basically just these colors. Oh, so I got this at Goodwill. So go look at your Goodwill, thrift stores, second time around type stores, and look for trays. And then I paint the center flat area. I like to use, I've never tried any other paint other than Fusion Mineral Paint, which is my go-to paint. I have it in black and this raw silk color. 2 coats of that. I did this one in black, and that's about all it takes. So that's how I prepped it. I didn't wax on top. I'll just make sure I fuzz the transfers really well. Hi, Steve. What did you paint the base of the, oh yeah, okay, just covered that. About forgot to tell you. Like I said, I don't know how well other paints would stick to the metal, but the Fusion Mineral Paint does. And maybe just, I don't know, I have a feeling latex, if it's, might peel off. I don't know. So I wonder if I want the spoon on top and the fork on the bottom. Maybe not that far apart. Or do I want a fork and spoon? I have a huge fork and spoon, probably about this long, maybe a yard long, hanging out here in our bar area above the sink. And I have them hanging like this, but I can't remember which one's on top. So I think I will do fork on the top. So these are our reusable silkscreen transfers that I design with, all by the company Couture, which is a direct sales company. So they're only available to purchase from Couture designers like myself. I think something like that. try it. I'm gonna do a really, really light color of gray. So grayish is what I'm gonna use. Hi, Janice. And grab a little squeegee here. This is chalk paste. We have two types of products, chalk paste and ink. Ink is for like fabrics. I'm also using ink on jars and ceramic. I've been working on some jars. The ink has to dry pretty much at least overnight, and then you heat set it in the oven. So, and then I did some layering. So it's taken me a couple days to let it dry, and then tomorrow I will put it in the oven and heat set the ink. And I'll show you all that later in the week. Okay. Yeah, so in our old house in Centerville, we didn't have a pantry. We just had our cupboards. And I guess out in the garage, I mean, we'd put like extra big pots and pans and stuff, but I love the pantry. And you can see everything when you go in there. There's a big open shelving. Okay, we got the spoon, and let's get the fork. If I can get it picked up. You always want to pull your transfers evenly across, not by the corner, because it's a fabric and it can stretch because it's on the bias. So pull it evenly across or down and pull straight up. If you pull like this, you're going to tend to curl your transfer. So pull it straight up if you can. That works best. I'm going to lay it in my water. Like I said, no, if I'm here by myself, normal, or if I'm not on live, I'm always by myself, but if I'm not on live, I just run to my sink and wash everything up so it starts to dry. But for saving time, I just have a little tub of water down here. Okay, that turned out really pretty. And in itself, that's kind of neat, just by itself, actually. But I'm going to dry it, and then we're going to layer Pantry Open 24/7 on top in black. So these will kind of be in the background. All right, any questions? Good morning, Sydney. Can't wait to see what you share today. Oh, thank you, Deborah. We're going to do these trays plus another big wooden door thing. And we're going to put that in this house. We love, we say we're sorry, we laugh, that thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's a new transfer. But using a heat gun heats up your surface, especially these metal trays. So when I used a hairdryer, I just used cold air, which is nice because then it doesn't heat up anything. So just kind of let it cool down a little bit. All right, so we'll get this pantry on here. It just barely fits, so hopefully that will be okay. Thank you so much for doing more lives this week. Thank you. I should do them more often. Usually I'm just in want to get things done, but yeah, I have quite a lot done already for my shows. for my craft show, but you know, you can always add more pieces. Okay, I fuzzed this on my lap, on my towel, just so it's not so sticky on the back. It's got a little bit of towel fuzz on the back, so it won't stick super hard to everything. Hopefully this doesn't cover up too much of our fork and knife. I should have maybe separated them more, but oh well. To kind of set it down so I can get more of the word. The tips of the P and the T are just hanging over a smidgen. Getting all the air pockets out. Looks pretty smooth. We're going to do this in black. Our black is getting pretty low. I know I have a new one somewhere, but this is going to be a knuckle gobber. I'm going to get paste on my knuckle. I kind of don't want the black to go onto the gold, but it might just a little bit. I need to load this up with some pasting. Spread it out quickly. Would have helped if I used a bigger squeegee. Could have gone a lot faster. Obviously the legs on this tray are not even because it's like rattling. Driving me nuts. Okay. Just gonna squeegee all the extra off. Pretty sure I got it. And let's pick up. That's sticking pretty good. There. There's some areas the black stayed in the transfer. So I might have to overlay it again and go over it again. Maybe my paste is too dry, or I didn't press it in hard enough, or I don't think I took too long, but it's just not quite solid right in here and right in here, which also can give it a vintage look, you know, like it's older and worn. So sometimes I leave it like that because I don't mind that, but or I could just slightly fill it in with a chalk marker in some of the areas too. So it just depends on how well you can see that. I'll hold it up there so you can see it. But I like it. I like it over the fork and spoon. It looks good. It's pretty. I think I'll put a little that little swirly swirl up here to balance how it's setting down low. And they have a little well, they have this. One of these could go up there. I was thinking they had another little piece. Maybe they don't. Somewhere, I just saw it. It was something I was working on this morning. Had like a loop-de-loo thing. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe I'm dreaming. Let's look at, how about our banners and see this? That might look neat up here. Maybe. Or we could, yeah, the vintage idea will look cool. Let's see if I can get this open. So we could do the little leaf, or both of them, or I kind of like in this idea. This is from our banners and borders, banners and corners. This right here might look neat up there in the black. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Especially with all these scallops on the edges of the tray. Kind of more of a formal look. So let's see how that goes. I think that would look really cool. I'm thinking. Okay, again, I'm going to fuzz this on my towel. I'm just pressing it on here a few times just to put a little bit of lint on there, because you saw how well that was sticking, and it was really sticking to the metal, but it's also sticking to my paint. So let's not have that issue all the time, because then you get nervous that it's going to pick up the paint off the metal, or what's it doing, you know? So here's my middle of my tray, so I'm going to match the middle of dot here of this design towards that. I should really just get out new black chalk paste. Put that in there. There, kind of balance it out a little bit, I think. I really wouldn't mind like a portion of it, like that, maybe that part down here, but not go all the way. Think about that. We'll let that dry for a little bit. Go on to the next tray. And then see what we want to do. Let's see if we can set it somewhere close by. Okay, now I love Yum, and the good stuff is in here. Yum, I know I want to do in gold. Okay, because I want to try to tie all these colors together. So definitely need some gold on actually both of these pieces probably. So let's do this one in gold for sure. And I'm gonna fuzz it on my towel. All right, any other questions? Good morning, Marty. I didn't see you sneak in there. Lori, good morning. Mary Lou, thank you, thank you. Hit that arrow button down there so your friends can see what Couture is all about. All right. Here's where, hold the fork. I'm also thinking about doing that little fork, knife, and spoon on this, from this old Bon Appetit transfer. And I may do it fork, knife, spoon up and down underneath this. like do them in gold maybe, and then overlay this in black also, or something like that. And then what can we put with the Yum? Maybe those little twigs or something. Here it is. I wasn't dreaming. I knew it was somewhere. Highlight. Oh gosh. I don't know if we could do it with that. Probably the twig. I actually like that one better with that tray, but I'm like, I swear I saw that. Maybe put fork, knife, and spoon under here. Be super cute. Good stuff's in here. And then we can either do like the olive branch or something. I really wouldn't mind an explanation point. Just to bring in, this has more of a modern feel compared to that, which I think is fun just to blend in the different fonts. But if I was to add something to this, maybe just this branch. You do this in gold and like do this in white or like the silver gray color. Would be fun. So let's see. I'll bring that down here. I think that's pretty good placement. And we're going to do gold. And this gold place is about gone too, and I thought I ordered a new one, but I don't know where it's at. But we'll have enough to do this. I'm going to get a bigger squeegee this time. And let's get our Yum going. Today is National Cherry Day. I haven't posted my little graphic that I made. Cherry Pie Day. It's also Love Your Pet Day. But don't you think you should love your pet every day? So I'm going to promote the Cherry Pie Day because I do love fruit pie. Cherry pie, berry pie is my favorite. I think I talked about that on, I had another post about pies. I can't remember what day it was. I mean, like, was it, maybe it was pie day. I don't know. But I used to judge the pie contest at the county fair, the double crust pies, because they're my favorite. And then my store was Tangleberries, so we had the best berry pie award. And so I always picked out the best berry. It could be cherry or berry pie. And so it was always kind of my thing. So today is Cherry Pie Day. I would love to have a piece of cherry pie. Yum. That's cute. These trays, I actually put the stained wax over them when we're done and dirty them up because you can see they're shiny. These are new ones. So I like to make them dull and old, like an old tray would be. So I actually use the dark wax on them and just, it kind of gathers in here and it just kind of makes it older and dirty looking, which I kind of like. So I will do that to these too. But that's really cute. I think we will put this on here, but I'm going to let that dry really well before we do that. So let's move on to this tray. Like it was out of whack there. So what did I say? Do these in gold, I think. Fork, knife, spoon. Such big sides, so we're going to have to do one at a time and let them dry. Thank you, Elaine. Thanks for coming on and watching. We're doing some metal trays today. Some are thrift store finds. And these are little new ones. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. Not every Dollar Tree carries them, however. At least not here in Omaha. So yeah, you have to find one that carries it. If you order them, then you're going to get like a ton of them, like 36 of one shape, or maybe you get 36 of, there's 3 different shapes. There's round, oval, and rectangle. But like I said, not every Dollar Tree, only one here in Omaha carries them. So yeah, I think that looks like it's in the middle. We're gonna go with it. I'm not gonna measure. Again, I can see these in a new modern farmhouse kitchen type thing. Sitting on a open shelf, or hanging on a wall, or hanging above the pantry door. You know, our dream houses, if you don't have that already. I picked up a couple, but haven't done anything with them yet. Oh yeah, I paint the middle with Fusion Mineral Paint. That's my go-to paint. I'm not sure how other paints would stick to metal, so if you haven't worked with it, you'll have to experiment. In my mind, latex is going to peel off the metal if you use like a latex house paint, wall paint, but I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking. You know? Yeah, so then when we get done with these 3, I have a big door. It's huge. I'll show you. It's right here. It was from an entertainment center my son-in-law's building. He's got it built, but these doors weren't how he wanted them for some reason or another. That door. So I snagged it from him because he was just going to throw it out. And I said, I can chalk on that. Hello. So they had some smaller, like this size ones. And that's, I don't know if you follow me much, but if you've seen the one with the fern leaves, I painted the front. I left the frame around it, but I painted the front with the Fusion Mineral Paint, and then did the ferns on it and put No Place Like Home on it. So those were also Kyle's doors that he made. I have one more left of the narrow one, I believe. I think I have another one. I have surfaces all over. Kind of a surface nut. So anyway, I gave the fern one back to them, and they have it hanging in one of their bathrooms. Let's spread these out just a little bit, I think. Maybe like right there. Don't you go crooked on me. Full concentration. Concentrating. Okay, I think I could use this little smaller one. The white, the gold shimmer shows up really pretty on white, or this off-white. It just looks really pretty. Got one more to go. Let's do the spoon. And dry again, and then we're going to put this over it in black. Which I may have to find some new black. Hi, Joanne. Hi, how are you doing? I'm glad you're all saying hello to me. That way I don't feel all alone, like I am every day. Well, John comes home for lunch, usually, unless he's busy. think that looks like the right. Maybe I should put it closer. Okay. I'm gonna measure how far apart these handles are, because now I'm getting picky. 3 centimeters. I'm pretty close. Yeah, just a few ticks over to the left. Bingo, good enough. Looks like it's crooked. Yeah, so I know most of you are probably designers. Do you, like me, I envision a place for my designs to be, like I envision the type of home it might go in. I don't know, that's just what I do. I just wonder, like, is that normal? Or do you guys just design for yourselves, maybe? Because I can't hang all my stuff up in my house. I make too much. So, but I like to create for different home decor and different color schemes. So, and I probably get that from when I had my store. You know, you had to think of everybody's taste and what they would want. It can't be everything that you would buy necessarily, or what you would put in your home. But what other homes are like, or other styles, if that makes sense. I always feel like this gold shimmer takes a little bit longer to dry. And I might put a little bit of wax over this. I'm kind of nervous that it might pick it up, the metallic, because I feel like it takes longer for it to set and stick. It seems like. I don't know. Something's just telling me to put a little bit of wax over it. So I'm going to do it. Do you seal when you... Yes, I'm going to seal. I'm going to seal with Min wax, but I'm going to use the stained wax because I like to dirty these trays up so they look like old trays, and not... Especially these are actually new, shiny ones. So I like to make them dirty. I'm just going to rub a little bit of wax over my gold shimmer here, just so the transfer doesn't stick to it too much. These newer transfers are sticky again. Like our last year's season, or last catalog season, transfers weren't very sticky, and now the new ones are sticky again. So yeah, I probably wouldn't worry about it if it was something that wasn't very sticky, but these are kind of sticky. And you do not have to seal. I mean, I do because I'm going to go for the vintage look anyway, so I just use that wax. The only time I put a spray sealer on or a poly sealer is on my porch boards that go outside. I use an outdoor sealer, poly, and I usually spray it on. So everything else I use wax, and I almost always seal everything I'm going to sell just to harden it. And sometimes the wax kind of brings out the color, kind of deepens the color a little bit, which is nice. So there's different reasons why. I would not seal a chalkboard that you plan on washing off and recreating on, so, or any surface that you're planning on recreating on. But if it's a permanent one, then I seal it in. So I just feel like it finishes it, makes it feel like it's permanent. It's your artwork and it's done. You know, if that makes sense. I've read where some people don't like the wax because it smears their chalk. And I'm thinking, I don't know what wax they're using, but I don't feel like it smears my chalk at all. At least this min wax isn't. So. Put that right on there. We're going to do that in black. Let me find a new black. I think I have one right here handy. I don't know if I've even opened it. Nope. That's how our paste jars come, with these seals on them, so you got to peel them off and mix them up good. This actually has some like liquid in it, so that's separated out, so we definitely need to mix that in to the chalk paste. You can see. Switch over. It's kind of an oily liquid, so just mix it into your chalk paste. You want this to be like a consistency of a soft yogurt, where it just kind of starts to drip off your little stir stick here. And of course, the smoother the better. And each chalk paste is different. Some's going to be a little bit more lumpier than others. Some's going to be super smooth. And really, when you squeegee it on, it pretty much always smooths out if it has any lumps in it. So, and as it ages, it tends to get lumpier too. So, it's just the nature of chalk paste, is what I believe. Okay. This is what they call a small squeegee on our website. And then they have, you get a pack of, is it 12 or 24 of this size? Which I have tons of them, because you just kind of, when you're using a lot of colors, you just go through them and then you wash them all when you're done. Alright. Remove the extra paste. Slide it back in your jar. Otherwise, it's just going to go down the drain and you're wasting it. I like to smooth it down where I can actually see the silk screen, like see that you can see the pattern through it. So you really want to skim it down. You see how easy my transfer is coming up now that I put the wax on there? Like super easy. It's like butter. It just comes right off. Look how cute that is. Adorable. It was so easy to come up because I had that wax on there. Yep. Dry my hand. You are the best that I have seen. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Tisha. Your designs are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we're getting this series going here. Look at this. See how they all coordinate now with the gold in them? I still might, I don't know about that. I think I want to fix it. Usually I don't always fix, but there's quite a few areas that, weird, didn't go through. It's turning out pretty cool. Let's see, what do I want to put white? My little leaf here. White. bring the white into this piece. Probably would help if I put it in white. I think so. Those are so cute. They are. I love them. You know, these don't have hangers, but I think if you were going to hang this series on the wall, just get those Velcro command strips and just right to the wall. Personally, I've never used them, but if I was to hang them up, that's what I would do. I hear they work really great. So, yeah, that's what I do. Let's do this in white. The wax will darken it. My stained wax will darken it down a little bit, so it'll look more like these colors, I think. And I think, because I think the almond is almost too dark, so it's kind of like hit and miss. But this little bit, I think will be okay, just using the white and then darkening it with the stained wax. So cute. I mean, look at these. Just hanging those two up is super cute. But man, you put the trio together, hang them like, you could hang them like that. You could hang them, oh man, so cute. You could even do like the Bon Appetit series transfer. Would also be cute, done in another tray, and just put Bon Appetit or something. I don't know. But this is a cute series. Hope you can see that. My iPad is blurring. Super adorable. Hey, Blair. Blair's on. So, I'm going to pull that transfer out, and we're going to wash it real quick, and I'm going to show you how you can overlay it again and go over that area and fix it. I just wanted you to see how that is done. So give me a second here to get these out of the way, because I can tell you this, but why don't I show you? That way you can learn if you don't know how to do stuff like that. So all these pieces, I will wash the transfers and put them back on these sheets. Okay, and you always put sticky side to the shiny side. There's a dull side and a shiny side, and of course the shiny will release the sticker off the paper, so make sure it goes to the shiny side. All right, of course it's the one on the bottom, but let's pull it up. It'll be second from the bottom. Here it is. I'm just going to lay it on here, and we'll just finish cleaning it here on the desk. Of course, it's easier just to go to the sink and do it, but let's just do it here. We'll take a Clorox wipe. It'll take a few of them. Some paper towels. If my daughter Blair is still watching, I'm going to chalk on that big door of Kyle's after we're done with these these trays. And we're getting there. Clean enough. I'm gonna lay it here on microfiber side of this towel. One side is terry cloth and the other side is microfiber. So the microfiber absorbs the moisture really well. The terry cloth is good for fuzzing, for putting that fuzz on the transfer. Okay. I'm just gonna wave it around a little bit. Get it really good and dry. Okay. I'm gonna bring our tray back up. Clang, clang, clang. Okay. I could put a little bit of wax on. May help, especially on the areas that are already good, just so the transfer doesn't pick it up and pick up any paste. So let's just lightly, barely put any on. And then I'm just going to line it exactly where it was before. Right there. It's really strange because even the I don't know if you can see the fork or the handle is exposed. I don't know how that, it must have all stuck in the screen. But let's just run some chalk paste over it again. Like if you start to do one letter, then you just as well do the whole letter, because then you'll see like a difference of the layers. So make sure you finish that whole piece out. Like this Y, I want to make sure I do the whole Y, even though the whole Y doesn't need to be chalked again. Do the whole thing. That way it's all on the same level of chalk, if that makes sense. Okay, there is a little bit of pieces there that are picked up, but I don't mind those. I'm just going to leave those like they are. There. Now, that looks better. See, it's more solid now. So, a lot better. Could definitely read it. Still trying to decide if I would put a little bit of that right here. Might look kind of cute. If I can find the piece, let me set this down so I don't get splashed. If I can find that little swirly, I'll wash it real quick and we'll put it on the bottom. This is turning out so good, so I want to make sure it's exactly how I want it before I wax. Here it is. Yep. I think I can just wipe it off this way. Just fine. I'm just loving this. I'm pretty excited. Turned out how I envisioned, which is always a good thing. And I think I want to just do like this part. So I actually may want to lay a little tape so I have a good stopping point. Like about the same. Like that. Get our tray again. I'll probably need to dry that. It's still wet. Opposite directions, probably. This is my middle right here. That's pretty even. Let's take it. Actually, I can just use this. I think we're kind of done with them, and then we just need to wax real quick and get this off my finger. It's sticking. So we'll let this one dry, and then we'll put some wax on it. I'll probably try to clean this out and put it in my new black here later. Throw all the squeegees in the water. And I use the antique, I call it antique wax. It's a special dark wax paste. This one. This is the natural, which had no stain in it, and this is what has the stain in it. And this is what will age it all a little bit. This one and this one. Sometimes it's really hard to, this wax is harder than the natural, like it's not as soft. So sometimes I take my can opener and just chunk up a bunch of it so it's easier to pick up. I just loosen it up in here because it's so hard. Especially when I need a lot of it, because I'm going to put a lot of it in here, so it kind of gathers in the embossed area of this tray, so it looks old. So just start smearing it. I smear it over the whole tray and the whole stuff everywhere. I got a bunch of it on here, and I'm just going to start kind of putting it around the edge. Now if you buy old trays that are already tarnished, like silver trays, you don't need to age them like I'm doing with these new ones. You don't need to make them dull and old looking, because they already are. But these are new and shiny, and they're not real silver, they're just a tin. So they're not going to age on their own. So I just smear it around. And sometimes I'll use quite a bit because I like it to like get down in those grooves. So I'm just getting it in here. Getting it really dirty. And this will all harden when it dries. It'll be hard. And then, see, it's already looking a lot older. I don't know if you can see the difference between the dull and the shiny on the camera, but this one's duller now and this one's still shiny. Okay, so let's do it to this one. So yeah, I just let them sit. They need to sit and harden and dry, of course. And the whiteness of this is not going to be as white now. I mean, it's still white, but it's not like bright white. And just dirtying up the edges. That paste will collect around these little flower areas on the tray, so it looks more tarnished. I did a bunch of these trays up from Dollar Tree, every day and holidays, from Halloween through fall. Sold them at my craft shows and at the store. There. Okay, so we're just gonna let these sit. And then let's do this one. This is when you do not want to have a hot tray. Like, these are metal and they get hot from the heat gun if you're using a heat gun. So don't put your wax on if your tray is still hot from the heat, because that just makes it it heats up the wax and it makes it kind of runny. I joined part way in... No, these are not food safe. These are home decor. I would never serve on these. These are meant to go on a shelf or hang on the wall. These are no way to be actually used for serving. Okay, this is strictly decor. Not intended for serving. Now I'm not going to worry too much about it. This is really already an old tray and it looks old, so I'm not worried about putting the wax up in here. I'm just waxing the paint and chalk areas. And the thing about using this antique or special dark wax, it will absorb air in different areas. Like, see how it's kind of dark in that area for some reason? And I think that just gives it more character. It makes it look more vintage. I don't know if you can see that on there, but it's just a little dark spot. And for some reason, it's just kind of taking different areas. It'll absorb differently. I'm not really sure why, but it kind of is cool because it just makes it look more old. Okay. So there, I think we're pretty much done with this. The only thing I think would be cool is if you wanted to hang this, if you're going to hang these, I would use the Velcro command strips for these. But I think a really pretty black wide velvet ribbon with it tied with a bow up here to E6000 it to these knobs and then bring it up and tie a bow with like a black velvet ribbon would be really, really pretty. And I'm going to try to go find, I don't have any, but I think that would look really classy with these. It's like, I don't know, it's like modern, classy farmhouse. I don't know, it's just a cool look. You can see that arranged on the wall, either this way or this way. And you can kind of make a triangle too. Like, it wouldn't have to be these two above each other directly, and then that, you can make it like, kind of like a triangle. And then you could always add other pieces to it. I have a cute little round tray. This is, I haven't painted the second coat on, but it would have been cool to do another one, or find another little gold tray, which I might have one, or maybe I already used it. But it'd be cute to do another gold tray also. So just have a collection that have to do with food, or like the word gather would be pretty in this collection on a plate. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me put this little series together. And now let's work on the big sign. It's all going to be in one color. Where do these go to? Both of these go to the, I don't know where to get the envelope. Must be right there. Okay, set these down. We're going to do this one. In this house, we love, we laugh, we say I'm sorry, we forgive, we pray, we have fun, we sing, we hug, we are family. And that's what we're going to put on that big door. Let me get the door up. I did put a little bit of wax on it so our transfer will pick up easy. Was the main reason why. He actually made this side stain darker, but it has the holes for the hinges. So I'm going to make those as the hanger. Like, you could put 2 nails and hang it up. This side is lighter stained. It only has maybe 1 coat of stain on it. But that's okay. Right. Usually in a big space like this, I go out to a bigger table, but we're going to try to work it here. And I'm going to try to fuzz this before I stick it down to the door. And I'm going to use white. I might blend in a little bit of almond just to get a little bit of variation in color on it so it looks more vintage. And that's a good sticky transfer. So we definitely want to fuzz this one. And sometimes on these transfers, it's almost good to cut them if you have enough space. But really it's pretty tight, so I'm not going to cut it. And this is going to be tricky to wash also. So when I'm done, I'm going to fold it in half, sticky side on the outside. So fold it on itself. And then I take it to the sink, like a kitchen sink with a tall faucet, and I will hold it under there and I will rub it. So sticky sides are on my hands and it's folded in. Rub it under the water and try to get most of the paste off. And then make sure the sticky side's all wet too. So it's all wet and you've rubbed as much paste as you can off of it. Then lay it on it, make sure you have a big counter area. Lay it sticky side down, make sure it's all wet. Sticky side down. Because it won't stick when it's wet. It won't stick. Lay it down, and then I take the board eraser. It's wet and it's on the edge of the sink, next to the sink, and just kind of wipe all the extra paste off that you can. and then make sure it's all rinsed pretty good, and then lay it sticky side up on a towel, and then just try to, if it's still really wet, you can take your hands are wet, and you can like squish the water off of it, and then just let it air dry. Okay, and then leave it sticky side down on a flat surface, like maybe take it off the towel and lay it on the counter. Once it's dried, lay it on a flat counter, and then take your sheet, make sure you got sticky side, and then lay it down on top of the transfer. And that's how you line up your, on any sides of transfers. Lay it sticky side up and lay your paper on top of it. And that's how you can get them matched up to lay on your, stick to your backer papers, okay? In case you don't know how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to try to put some fuzz on the back of this guy without it causing too much trouble here. If you would get this stuck to itself, you got to take it to the water immediately. Don't try to pull it apart dry. If this flipped over and stuck to itself, take it to the water. It's going to come apart easier if it's wet. But you can be in a real mess if you get this all balled up. Definitely try to separate it under the water. Try to separate it out, and you may end up stretching it out a little bit. Hopefully you're not going to tear it if that happens, but it can happen super easy with these big transfers. So just be careful and try not to get stuck to itself, or you'll be sorry. And this one is super sticky, so we're gonna have to put a lot of fuzz on it. And if you get a hair on it, like right here, try to get it off, especially if it's in the silkscreen area, which it is. It's stuck pretty good. You can see it's still pretty sticky. Okay, so this is my top. Just take your time and have some patience. And see, it doesn't fit the bed. I mean, it's a little short right here with the family, and right here I might be able to scooch it up a little bit, but it's not going to fit completely. And then left and right we want it pretty even, so I'm going to stand up and take a look. All right. White, and I think we'll use almond. If I can find it. Back here. We're going to use our 4-inch squeegee because we can get a lot covered a lot quicker. And we're just going to blotch on a bunch of paste and then squeegee it. reminds me of 7-minute frosting. Alright, let's see where we're at on how much paste we need. So I put white and almond. I'm just kind of blending them. You can see how quick and easy the 4-inch squeegee helps get this done. And we can scrape this and put it back. I will probably put it in the almond, even though it's a little bit lighter. I'm not going to waste this paste, even though it's a mix of the two. It's very runny. Alright. I think this is going to look like something you buy in a store. It's pretty classic. Alright. Get these off. This is when having an extra hand would be nice. There. Now, this is when you want to be careful not get it stuck to itself, because it's going to happen. Luckily it's pulling apart pretty easily. Probably because I've had a little wax on that board. Okay, this is when I'm going to take it to the sink, hold it under the water, and just go like this and try to get a lot of the chalk paste off. But right now I'm going to lay it somewhere. Lay it by the trash. Okay, so you can see that. Hopefully it turned out really pretty. And I will probably use the antique wax on it. And after it dries, just to, and another thing about the antique wax, if you use quite a bit, it'll kind of gather along the edges of the words, so it kind of almost creates an outline in a way, and it just kind of makes the design pop a little bit, because you have a little bit of a dark edge along the edge if you use a lot. So I'll just kind of mess with that and see. But I'm just going to let it set and dry, and then we'll put the wax on. And I'll probably wax the whole board so it looks nice and waxed like a piece of furniture when you're done. There's a little hole here like for a knob. I'm going to buy a cute little knob. I don't know if you can see on the bottom. Right here. I think it would be cute. Hang a little knob right there. Really pretty one. So there is that. I'm not going to do much else to it. I just kind of want it plain and simple. I'm not going to embellish it anymore with anything else. I just like it like this. So that is our chalking session for this morning. Thanks for joining me, and make sure you don't have any more questions. Oh no, you lost the audio. Oh shoot. Thanks. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad you joined us, Carol. If you can hear me. Yeah, if you have more questions, just rewatch. I talk about the trays, and I'll be on again tomorrow morning, I believe. So we'll try to do some more projects in the morning, hopefully around the same time. And I will talk with you later. Bye.